So guys, I've got some 70s sci-fi hot takes planned out for you. First off, I wanted to give a look at Westworld. No, this is not the HBO series. This is the original film, written and directed by Michael Crichton. Does that name perhaps sound familiar to you? Yeah, this is the guy who wrote Jurassic Park, the novel that Steven Spielberg turned into a movie. So you're thinking, why don't they let a screenwriter and a film director who did Westworld do Jurassic Park? Well, I kind of feel like Westworld was the dry run test bed for Jurassic Park. It's not necessarily shared universe, but there's a lot of things that occur in this film that seem familiar, that repeat in Jurassic Park. Similar lines. Spared no expense. Does nothing work around here? And you know what? This 1973 film has dated effects, which I'm not going to do much to criticize. I'm going to say that this film limps along and has a difficult time in other aspects. Before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies over at CALDERALab.com. They just sent me their latest, the Icon. This is great skincare for men. Use my promo code FRY15, save 15% at checkout. So in the, I guess, kind of distant future from 73 anyhow, you have an advanced robotic amusement park. These guys come in, Peter and John. They've got this fanciful hovercraft that, you know, they're showing this off. They're taking over to Westworld, where they're going to be amused by the Old West, the hookers, the gambling, the gunfights. And we need to have a paternity test ran because I'm pretty damn sure James Brolin is Christian Bale's father, or he was a clone of him. We watch our film reel explaining the whole amusement park aspect. Consider this as though if Jurassic Park was actually up and running, kind of like how it is in Jurassic World. There's this gunslinger, real tough looking hombre played by Yul Brynner, sort of a send-up of his Magnificent Seven character. Performances are not the issue with this film. Yul Brynner's android has these nuances about him. You'll also notice that his eyes have this kind of chromatic look and his iris seems to be white. I've only seen this applied to androids in one other film, and that is Blade Runner, and it has to do with splitting something. It's a cinematography thing and it's complicated, so that's why you don't really see it often. Oh, but the other androids, they look like people and whatever. Oh, and how do you tell an android from a person? Their hands, they couldn't get the hands right, these engineers. I don't see why this would be a problem. It looks like they have extra skin around the digits. Cut that off. Now look, it's been a long time since I've seen this. I saw this on basic cable over 20 plus years ago. It used to get around, not so much anymore. In fact, it's hard to find on a streaming service. But I did not recall so much time being spent before the android's turn. I thought the selling point was the android's turn on the guest. No, instead, Peter and John seem to do whatever they want for quite a good weekend, it seems. Yul Brynner has to lose the gunfight to them, and in case you're worried about accidentally shooting a guest, the guns are set up so that they won't hit living objects. We cut between our guys at the West world, and then we go to the other worlds. They have a medieval world. There's a Roman world. There are guys working the behind-the-scenes aspects, which how down and dirty do you want to get with one of these ladies of the night if you got guys watching? And just about every night, it seems like repairs have to be made. You bring in the android horses. There's an android snake, whatever. Now, look, this movie is an hour 30 minutes with credits. It is just lost after the concept. We check in with medieval world. There's just some guy who's fiddling around. He has to fight this Black Knight, and oh no, the Black Knight actually turns on him, stabs him to death. And then John is killed by the gunslinger. Now, wouldn't this have had more impact if the gunslinger was the first android to turn? It just feels like we're wasting time cutting away from our core group to see what's happening in places not called Westworld. It's probably the last 15 minutes of the film that we actually have a bit of a chase going. The gunslinger's trying to get to Peter. Peter flees Westworld, goes to the engineering facilities, goes through medieval world. Yeah, you're going to get some Terminator vibes out of this. Perhaps it was inspired by this pursuit. And the rudimentary tracking system on the gunslinger really fails him. He catches fire. You know, it's not the most exhausting creature chase by any means. And the movie just kind of ends. Yeah, forget checking in with anybody else at the Westworld Resort. We never saw what came of this guy who got to be the new sheriff. I mean, shit, that's a character that was actually in Westworld. But no, let's go chill with the medieval knight dude. You would have thought that with all of the build-up and presentation surrounding this hovercraft and how we had got to Westworld, we would have seen it in use. We would have seen that as the beacon point. This is how we leave the movie. I mean, Grant and friends took a helicopter to Jurassic Park. The movie leaves with them leaving the island in said helicopter. Jurassic Park also has much more time devoted to the chaos. It really strikes me as though, look, we failed with the android endeavor. Why don't we try it with the DNA-sourced dinosaurs? It's not quite enough to say that they're the same movie, but Jurassic Park is definitely the improved movie. I give Westworld from 1973 2.5 out of 4 stars.
Hey, it's Vaughn's mom again, so I just wanted to remind you that instead of buying Vaughn's weird pictures online in various states of undress, you can just bookmark his Amazon affiliate link, and then when you shop Throw It on Amazon, he gets a few pennies here and there.